Sometimes with clients, I feel like a broken record. There's some things that just speak true to every single scenario when you are designing a home. Something that I really try to preach when clients say, well, I love this, but we have a very coastal home and I just don't think that that would go. My response is always, why would you pigeonhole yourself? I don't want to be put into a box. Nobody puts baby in a corner. I want to be able to explore my style, and whether that's going to kind of evolve over the years, I want this space that I'm in to allow for that, to allow me to grow as a person and change, and for my space to kind of reflect that. With that being said, I don't think that you should define your interior style, and I'm gonna kind of go into that with some examples, and hopefully you enjoy. The biggest reason why I'm against defining your style is because it really puts limitations on your space. So if you're saying that you have a Spanish style home, does that mean your entire space has to be Mediterranean? Personally, I think not. I like that my space is a Spanish style home, but I have mid-century modern pieces. I have modern pieces. I have some, like my coffee table is quite Asian, same with my rug. I have some coastal kind of like Hemingway style pieces. So I think it makes for a more curated, more eclectic, more personalized space when you're not trying to adhere to a design style. And I think too, you get to have a lot more fun if you're constantly fighting yourself within your own home. You're saying this doesn't go with the style of this home. I don't know how you're ever going to be happy if you like this thing that you can't have. It's like being on a diet. I don't really know how that translates into what I'm saying, other than the fact one day you're going to feel like you can't do it anymore and you're going to be unhappy in your space. Okay, so I do know how. I do know how I got there. So this space is a really prime example for me. I love this space, and it works because with the wood panels, it's obviously very mid-century. What makes it so nice is that we have this extremely modern table. And in the back corner, we don't just stop there. It's a very traditional chair in that back corner with the rolled arms. And so these three things, for me, create a way more interesting space than if everything was just mid-century. If you just leaned into the mid-century design of the home, it feels more like time warp, more like we're stuck in the past. Like something like this, to me, is less interesting. It's beautiful, but when we're just filling this, like everything is like mid-century, and I know that like it's always going to be hot. I think ever since it came back, maybe early 2000s, it's always going to be hot. But I think that your design is way more intentional when you allow mid-century pieces to stand out amongst the rest of the design of the space. So it's kind of like the idea of having a burl wood piece in your home. I've said this before, that I don't think that you should have more than one burl wood piece, which is why I haven't purchased one yet, because I want it to be the piece. It's the showstopper, right? So when you have that showstopper piece, the rest of the pieces around it are, if they're all also burl wood, they're going to overpower the gorgeousness, the whatever of that main piece. It's kind of like they're all talking over each other. When you have all mid-century modern pieces in the home, it makes it not special anymore. The uniqueness is in their individuality, and that's why, you could have a few mid-century pieces, but I don't think that you should go all mid-century. Does that make sense? It's another great example of three styles coming together to make a space way more cozy, more interesting. I'm presuming a more Georgian style home because of these shutters. I can't tell where it is by looking out the window, but definitely we're in Europe somewhere. And then these built-ins or whatever these are on the side, if they're built-ins or just they look like they're built in, are obviously mid-century once again. And then we have a very traditional sofa, but the shape of it, I think, and the way that the cushions are, something about it is a little bit modern too. So we're mixing all these ideas and it just makes for a more compelling space. If we just leaned into the Georgian and everything was traditional, it just would look dated. Having these different elements of design are what really make this space something you're gonna pin. You know, I've pinned this, I've used this example in so many videos, and I've seen this photo in so many videos, and it works because it is, you know, it's like a mixed media art piece. It's way more interesting than just a painting. And that's my opinion. Okay, here we go. It's an opinion, but there's a reason why this has been pinned so many times. I've seen it on my feed so many times. I love this example. We're really mixing traditional, it looks like a Georgian style home again, or, you know, some sort of like old European style. And then we have a super mid-century dining set, super mid-century, which I love. And then we have some modern pieces mixed in there too. The sconces, the art on the table, it all kind of, and honestly, the color palette, that's pretty current, that's pretty modern. So having all of these things together in one space, for me, it's like, that's what's doing it, is making it more interesting and making it more curated and less like you walked into a showroom and you're like, okay, I'll purchase this set. I honestly encourage clients all the time not to buy the whole bedroom set. Let's branch out. Let's do some other things. This coordinates, this goes. We're pulling, you know, these like cooler oak, bleached oak, you know, has some gray tones in there. So let's pair it with a gray dresser or nightstands or whatever, you know? So again, it just feels like you're making a decision for the design and not because you liked the set. Maybe this video should have been titled, "Every good room has at least one mid-century piece in there," because I do kind of agree with that. But this in particular, I love. It seems like it's a Spanish Southern California home based on this arched window, the window panes. That's what I'm going to assume based on the very little context that I have in this image. What's interesting is we went kind of cottage with this grass cloth wallpaper, but we kept it modern by doing a full color drench. I mean, there's really some genius behind these decisions. We have a mid-century light fixture. Here comes Shrimpy Boy.
Come here, the big baby boy. Oh.
Mid-century light fixture, mid-century chairs. I would argue that the table, without seeing that much detail, could be like a transitional 90s style. Had to pause for the dogs to finish barking. Ooh, this is nice. I just went back on Pinterest to try to find some more examples. Again, mid-century modern light fixture. Sideboard, super traditional table. Sort of Japandi style chairs. I'm not entirely sure how I would categorize them, which is also why they work, because I love when a piece is kind of, we'll say like androgynous, like it doesn't fit into a particular style and it's so versatile because it can work in so many different spaces. And that's what this chair kind of does for me. Like it just works without, like this is clearly not a dining set, which I love. Please don't buy dining sets. Another thing that I always say to clients is I like when things are a little off. Like I like when something doesn't exactly go. It's like you might have a rug that has 5 or 6 colors in it, and you pick an accent chair that the color works with the palette, but it's not actually the color that's in the rug. And I like this because I think that element of surprise is actually what makes a space more interesting. It's like, ooh, what made you select that? And it feels more like you hired a designer for your home than, again, going to the store and picking out a set. Like it's giving lazy. This, I would say, is maybe a Spanish style home based on like the tile, the shape of the fireplace, and the beams. We have a little kiss of Japanese in the corner with our little cherry blossom. We have farmhouse style chairs. These chairs are super farmhouse. And the table's kind of dark, so it's hard to say, but it could be anything, which is why I think it works. It's just kind of a nothing, zero, it's not the showstopper table. It's just like a great table. It seems durable. Traditional rug, and a mid-century modern light fixture. We're mixing. We're coordinating. We're not matching, you know? Again, it's just, I would much rather be in this dining room than be in this dining room. It's nice. I like the color palette, but it's so mid-century that I'm like bored. That's just me. And I like to think that you came here because you like my opinion. If you don't, I'm sorry. I'm still on Pinterest. Like, I need to get off Pinterest. Okay, last examples. This is very traditional. It's got traditional on traditional on traditional. This is interesting. I love the palette. I love that I have no idea what style this house is. Apparently, everyone's driving by right now. It's old. It's definitely old. I'm surprised with the intricacy of the doors and also exposed beams, but somehow it's working because we did this color drench. So we're enveloping the room all in this one mood. It's dark, it's cozy, it's sexy. These chairs are like unexpected in this space. They're kind of like safari. Traditional table, traditional buffet. I'd say transitional on the light fixture, modern rug, but it's that mixing that makes it like so good. So that's all I have. I hope you enjoyed this little exploration in why you shouldn't define your space. To be a broken record, it's just gonna make your space more unique, more personalized. No one else is gonna have your space because you didn't pick it out of a catalog, you know? So take this with a grain of salt, whatever. If you enjoyed it, hit that like. Don't forget to comment. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already. And I'll see you in the next video. I love you. Goodbye.